Hi, welcome to the video. Today's going to be a short discussion on pack control and pack manipulation. It's very short. I'll try and do a few of these over the next few months just to, I guess, download some of the things that go through my mind while I'm playing roller derby and to get them out there for other people to consider. So here's a short video. So this is a game, Australia versus Italy from 2018. So I'll just play it through, but what we're seeing here is Australia have a power jam start against Italy. So I'll just play the video in real time, and then I'll talk through what was going on through the minds.
Confusing commentators.
Potentially, that is a very punishable offence. We're easily confused people. Rust and Roller can't do much to stop Slender Jam. Slender Jam straight through lead jammer for the Wizards.
So I'll just hold it up there. So without going into detail of the start, the start in itself was a predetermined strategy of our pack, but we achieved a quick lead. And we secured a goat at the back of the pack. So white 1-4 was our goat for the next scoring pass. Now what was observed at this moment in time was the other two blockers up to the front of the pack, the two white blockers, were not in any rush to move back close to the Australian wall, which would typically be one of our defaults, and a good strategy in order to give those blockers the best likelihood of successfully capturing and containing the opposing jammer. So I'll just play it on from this point here. So keeping in mind we'd already secured the goat. The Australian jammer is probably 3/4 around their scoring pass at this point in time. So as time goes on, white blockers at the front still hadn't moved. The Wizards blockers, Australian blockers, had the goat under control. So what we're looking to do here is maintain our pack at the back on the pivot line, and I'm looking to that's myself there, the green skater at the front. I'm looking to create with my team the easiest pass possible for the jammer. So to achieve this, I don't want them to be able to touch my jammer. So to do this, I want to put the two white blockers at the front out of play, so they cannot participate. So as we see here, we're back on the pivot line. We're approximately 20 feet. This nearest white blocker is 20 feet in front. The other white blockers out of play. They haven't been called out of play yet, but we're looking to just maintain this distance in front.
Fury.
Then we achieve the pass on the blocker at the back. The jammer returns around, and then at this point in time, you can see that the Australian wall is still on the pivot line. The two white blockers are approximately 20 feet in front of the green Australian blockers. I no longer want to be involved at the front because I'm almost out of play. So I make my return back towards my blocking group with the intention being to contain the goat that we have, and also to ensure the officials observe this 20 foot gap and call the two white skaters out of play. So as time goes on,
They're just trapped in that three.
cool. As time goes on, I'm out of the picture. The two white blockers at the front have no one else around them, so the jammer's able to see clear paths. It could have been an advantage to us for me to stay up the front and play some offense. However, given that the two white blockers were effectively almost 20 foot in front anyway. It would have been a high risk, low reward, because I could have been given a penalty. If the blocker at the rear didn't move forward as much as they did, and the two white blockers at the front had have made contact with the green jammer, then they likely would have been issued out of play penalties for blocking. So we'll just watch as time
Finally,
goes on.
the communication gets through to the pivot that they have a go and he should drop back.
Physio.
Cool. And we'll just end it there. So it's another bit of a play that the Australian team was doing there, called a goat party, which I might touch on another time, the idea behind that strategy. But we'll just end the video there, and then I'll just talk it through with this the new Ultimate Roller Derby simulator that someone has taken the time to make, which is really cool. So to talk through the scenario that we just watched, white in this case is the Australian team, and black is the Italian team, which maybe I should have set it up differently, but I didn't, so we'll carry on with this. So as the Australian jammer moves their way around the track and starts to approach the rear of the pack, by this movement here, by moving back all the way back into this zone here to maintain this goat as the jammer passes, it effectively gives these two skaters here only like 1 or 2 feet to actually do any blocking. So they've got very limited space remaining to do the job that they want to do, and very high risk for them. So I think for a team that likes to block the way that the Italian team was in this case, I think it's important to consider what advantage you're actually giving yourself if you are staying too far away from the opposing pack, and teams should consider, we'll just move it back to sort of how it was before, should consider getting amongst the mess a little bit, like these two blockers should move back this way, and attempt to like catch either to that side of the pack or the other side, but to utilize the opposing blockers to their advantage. It's not good in a lot of cases to give yourself space, even if you were to set up your two wall a little bit closer to the opposing wall. Whilst you might have a little bit of room there, you've got a bit of space in the engagement zone. The jammer's also got a lot of space as well to do their lateral movement, pierce through between you. You're basically making a rod for your own back in having to cover a lot of track, and jammers are generally pretty good and pretty quick and pretty strong, which is why they're doing the job that they're doing. So that's just a short video on that. So as a recap, always consider when you're in your packs what advantages you can pick up for your jammer. So that could be, so we might use this scenario. There sometimes can be situations like this where these skaters will hang for some reason, some unknown reason, will just hang 10 feet or even 5 feet in front of someone who they think is going to play offense on them to give themselves space, because naturally people feel a little bit more comfortable with space, but it's not necessarily a good thing. So yeah, if you are this blocker on this team and you're observing your opposing skaters are setting up like this, just be aware that as soon as your jammer starts to approach, all you really need to do is just scooch back, back too near your wall, and you take away all of this, all of this blocking space that they previously had. So when you're here, when you're at that point there, this pair probably thinking, oh, we've got a good 10-15 feet of space to do some good blocking unopposed by any offense. But then as soon as that skater moves back, all of a sudden they got next to no room at all. Just something to consider. I'm not sure if these videos are going to be any useful or of any use to anyone, but yeah, just thought I would make one. There's a few that I'm thinking of doing, so we'll see how we go. Thank you. Enjoy your skating.